we're going to talk about the upcoming series now with the Blue Jays. Obviously, I would venture to say one of the biggest series of the year. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're getting down to a month left of the season, and this is where you separate the contenders from the pretenders. Um, the Blue Jays, as I mentioned, have been hot of late, but there's nothing to say. The Yankees win 3 out of these 4 games, and we're talking about the Yankees this coming week. We're talking about the Yankees being up, 2 games if they take 3 out of 4. So huge series this week in the Bronx. Nothing else the Yankees could ask for with this series. Everything that they could want set up is set up for them. So I expect a lot out of the Yankees. Um, Especially the hitters, because you know what right now we're banged up. We got Teixeira out. We got Gardner was out last night. He should be back tonight. But we're definitely banged up. We're not the healthy Yankees we came into the season with. But you know what? That's no excuse. Whoever's in there, they're major league players and they gotta play. And you know what? I I'm very hesitant when they call up players. I don't like to go nuts and go crazy about them early, even if they do have some good numbers early, because I like to see consistency. I like to see over time who performs. And you know what? Greg Bird has actually been a very pleasant surprise for me. For someone who, like I said, is very critical of young players, Greg Bird has been phenomenal. He's been very mature in his at bats. He's been the way he takes pitches, the way he goes up there with a plan is it shows that he's more mature than his age, to be honest. Because many major leaguers that are that young are just swinging out of their shoes or you know trying to prove things by hitting long home runs, whereas he's just going up there. He's trying to have good at bats. Now, don't get me wrong, his defense has not been great. We all know that Mark Teixeira is as good as you're going to get at first, and Greg Bird is his big shoes to fill when Mark Teixeira's out, obviously filling in for him at first base. So anything that you see is not going to be as good as Mark Teixeira. However, some of the stuff that's happened has been bonehead plays. I mean, last night, what's his name? Jonathan Scope hits a swinging bunt down the first base line, and it was almost like him and Shreve weren't on the same page because they're both going for the ball, and Shreve, you could tell they're both calling it whatever, but it ends up that Greg Bird goes after it and tosses over to Shreve, but at that time, Scope was way past the base, and he's safe. So it's just little things like that, a couple drop balls. He's not the human vacuum cleaner that Mark Teixeira is over there. So like I said, I'm tough on young players, but I've loved what I've seen from his bat so far. Obviously, he has. I think I heard Michael Kay say something the other day that he has 5 home runs in the major leagues, and 4 of them have given the Yankees the lead. So for a young player, that's just huge. And as many Yankee fans like to say, Bird seems to be the word when it comes to game leading home runs, and that for young players is very impressive. Um, so with that said, I think he needs to continue to prove himself. Obviously, bad news about the share the other day. The Yankees placed him on the 15-day DL, so it doesn't look like he's going to be back anytime soon. Hopefully, obviously for the playoffs, but doesn't look like he's going to be back in the next couple weeks. So Greg Bird's going to be there to stay for 2-3 weeks. So it should be interesting to see how that goes. Now we have another thing developing with the Yankees too, as I heard yesterday, called me off guard. Nathan Eovaldi is going to be out for an extended period of time, and it came out yesterday. I saw on the Score mobile app that he's actually going to be out for the rest of the rest of the regular season. So the Yankees are going to have to kind of fill that void. I mean, obviously they're in a good spot now for the playoffs, but nothing's guaranteed. And Eovaldi's been great for them. I know he's pitched into a lot of luck. The Yankees offense has scored a lot for him, but he's still, you got to give credit where credit's due. He's not allowing runs, and if he is allowing runs, the Yankees are scoring more runs than the other team. So you know what? At the end of the day, if he's getting wins, he's doing his job, and I think he's come a long way this year too. Obviously, the pitching coach has helped him a lot, learning to throw a splitter, just overall learning to locate his fastball, and I think a lot of the older veteran guys have helped him out. So that's been a success. But yeah, he's going to be out for the remainder of the regular season. So hopefully we have him back for a nice playoff run. All right, we're gonna come back in a little. Talk some Mets baseball. Big comeback last night. All you Mets fans I know were psyched about that. I had to hear about it in my apartment because I got a bunch of Mets fans. So when we come back, we'll talk about that.